doing something that I haven't done in a while, which is basically more for like people getting into Magic or just starting, which is kind of like a walkthrough game where I talk a bit about like what kind of decks I play, what scenarios, and sort of strategies on how to think, how to not think, in my opinion. Some of the things I say might be my own personal opinion. Some things I say might be somewhat different from somebody else's opinion on various scenarios or experience, because like that's sort of one of the things with Magic. To kind of give a quick mini update, a couple lives ago, I did a box opening of New Capenna because that was like I know it's not standard legal anymore, but that was like the oldest set that, the newest of the sets that I didn't do a box opening for yet. Um, Another thing though is I kind of kicked myself because I like to get the boxes from a store just to help the community and stuff. But I couldn't find a couple certain sets that they were selling it in boxes. But what really kicked myself is I bought New Capenna, and then I went to this store where we ended up firing the Duskmourn draft, and they actually were selling a box only of Dominaria Remastered and Lord of the Rings. So I was like, oh, that would have been so much fun. I wish I knew that. But anyway, so likely what I'm going to do is that next time we do a box opening, which probably won't be for a while, especially since, as you all know, the new set, the pre-release is this coming Friday. So I'm probably going to be doing a box opening of that instead, just to kind of see if I pull the stuff. My buddy actually has an Ur Dragon deck, so I promised him first dibs on anything we pull there. So thought it would be fun. Another thing is, we just been really busy for a while. So like we were like focusing on other stuff, but now we're live streaming and doing shorts again, and that seems to be doing well. So what we're going to do after I sip my coffee. So like I said, this is just going to be a fun little walkthrough video where I sort of explain how I think in the game and some strategies I use and some general basics that might be good for newer players who are like trying to get into it. So the first thing, and people who are watching who played a while could also leave like chats and comments. So I usually like to do this every once in a while for fun. So the 4 commanders I'm using today, the first one is Cloth. I think that's how you say it. I'm bad at pronouncing card names. Basically, he's a 7-drop, 4/4 flying and haste that says whenever you attack, you get mana equal to the total power of what you're attacking with, as long as he's attacking. And you can only use that to cast spells. You can't really use it to activate some abilities. I learned that in an awkward way while playing. Which is still pretty good because, of course, you get out bigger creatures. You could play a lot of heavy X spells just to kind of go crazy. The next one is called Nira the Wild Mage. I've been making a lot of shorts with this one recently. The theme of the deck is to play a combination of cheap spells and big spells because her ability says once per turn, I can reveal the top card once I cast spell until I hit another spell and I can cast that instead. So basically, I do need, that deck is still in its mid stages. Like I could use better cards for it, but it definitely has like, as you imagine, some Eldrazi, some gross stuff, and it just kind of makes getting really disgusting things out a lot easier. That's that deck. The next deck is, it was a legendary from one of the precons of Duskmourn. I can't even pronounce it. Corrupted Memory. So basically, every time you draw a card, that commander gets a 1/1 counter. And if his power is even, then you could flash in non-creature spells. And if his power is odd, then you could flash in creature spells. Last but not least, I think this one might look the most familiar to players who've been playing for a while. Witherbloom, basically, he's a 4/4 flyer for 7. Every upkeep, not just your own, you get this 1/1 token that when it dies, you gain a life. But another cool thing it does is, and this is the reason why I built the deck the way I did. Well, I built the deck for their combination. The fact it makes a bunch of little 1/1s, and also the fact that when it dies, you gain a life, and blah, blah, blah. So you could pay 10 life to untap all your lands. So that's a pretty good one. So that's a walk through what the commanders are. So, like, let's say you get into a play group and you sit down, right? So, um, everyone's going to have their own opinion based off their own experience or what they know or how scary the card may seem. Like, people who don't know you, I think they might find maybe one of these two the most threatening. It's pretty close call, but I think if we take them out, some people might go, oh, this is interesting because some of these decks most people know are pretty good, but I mean, not a lot of people played against them as commanders, I don't feel like. So it might throw them off and be like, oh, I've never seen that. So they might be a little less certain of what to expect from you. But normally, if it's a commander that everyone knows will be broken, then likely they're going to look at you first. But at least I feel like the way this setup is, it could kind of go either way because the dragons are sort of the more, oh, they do stuff, that's scary. But the other two, I think most experienced players could have a couple tricks up their sleeve. So I think it's a pretty even table right now. So it'll just come down to what they start seeing and what they don't start seeing, I feel like. I think anyone who knows me, they'll be mostly scared of these two. But at the same time, it's not like the other two are just laid back. They know some stuff is probably going to happen. Um, so yeah, with that, I was thinking we kind of get started. There was one other thing I was going to say, but I can't remember at the moment. Um, but yeah, oh, that's what I was going to say. Like, for example, I played Commander at this game store on Tuesday night, and I was actually playing these decks with them, except this one right here. But I think first game, what was the first game? The first game, the guy played a Tali, so that was obviously scary, especially given how it's a commander that sees a lot of CEDH. The other guy played a couple less known commanders, but there was one or two that the other guy also played that I'm like, oh my gosh, I know that card. But an example of the experience piece is this guy was playing a blue-white bunny deck, which lets everyone draw a card and gain a life. The only problem I have with that is usually those kind of decks, not problem in a bad way, just problem like affecting my threat assessment, is there's a lot of players who play that in a really scary way, so that kind of makes me worried that he is trying to do something sneaky. I killed his commander for no reason. He was like, why'd you kill my commander? And I was just like, I had bad experience with that commander, so I thought you were trying something sneaky. I'm getting worried that you're drawing all those cards and blah, blah, blah. But I didn't really see the concern of the deck at the end, so maybe I'll be like a little nicer next time if I play against that deck. But yeah, so that was the only thing. Anyway, with that, I'm probably going to get started in the game. So we're going to start with this deck. He's going to draw for turn. And he's just going to play a random land and say go. He doesn't have any one drops. Then this person's going to draw. He's going to play a... he did keep a risky hand, but it's worth it. He's going to play a tap land and say go. Then this player going to draw. That's a good draw. He's going to play a lane that doesn't enter tapped. And then for one, he's going to go ahead and play the Elvish Mystic and then say go. So then it's going to go to Witherbloom's turn. He's going to draw. He kept a risky hand, but worth it. He's going to play a Swamp and say go. So now it's going back. So far, pretty casual start. It is a little concerning that that player played an elf because he's now ahead in a ramp perspective, which is pretty good. But this guy doesn't care as much because he is going to play a land, and for two, he's going to play a Signet. So now you have two players that are starting to ramp, so naturally they're going to be a little more of the people they're going to look at. So draw. I think he's just going to play a land and then pass the turn. Then it's going to go on to this player's turn, draw. Oh, that's a pretty good draw. He's going to play another forest, and then for three, he's going to play Kadama's Reach. So now he's going to search for, what is he going to search for? He's going to search for a forest and islands. He's going to, I guess, have a forest in his hand and the island put into play tapped. Then he's going to pass the turn. So this guy's just going to shuffle really quickly. And then he's going to pass the turn. So this will go in the graveyard, this will go in the hand. The thing is, ramp is always, if you, unless there's a reason why not to, is usually the better go-to to start, because even in the command zone, they were talking about saying, you know, mana gives you a huge advantage. So that's why getting your rocks out, so that way you could play your bigger cards or more cards faster, is very important in the beginning of the game. When you're first starting, you're reading that being like, that's not so great. It's actually really important. So untap, draw. What this guy is going to do is a few things. He's going to play a Mountain for turn. He's going to, for a green, play Wild Growth and put it on the mountain. And then for 2, 3, he's going to play Kadama's Reach like the other player did. He's going to look for a couple forests. I just realized that these two players have really similar hands, and you'll know why in a second. Like, they even have the same Mythic and Kadama's Reach in their hand. It's kind of funny. That's actually really funny to me. 5. So this player has something to do on the end step. So if you're newer, the question is, why did he wait until the end step? Because he's going to play, for one, a card called Opt. And that lets him scry 1 and then draw a card. So scry, that's too big of a cost. It's a cool card, but he won't play it at all. And then he's going to draw. Why did he wait? The reason why is because you don't want your opponents knowing what you've got going on. If, like, he was tapped out for no reason, then that would usually suggest to players who know what they're doing that he has nothing. And so if the player knows he has nothing, then that might make them think, well, he's an easy target, so I might as well go after him. That's not what you want players to be thinking. So, like, it's always good to wait for stuff like that on the end step. And, hey, who knows? Maybe he did have a response if someone decided to come to him. So right now he's going to play Brainstorm, draw 3. Ooh, this hand is really bad. And then he's going to put 2 cards back. I think he's just going to put some of the heavier hitters back. And then this is how sad his hand is right now. He's going to play Temple of the False God, which he can't use for a while because you need 5 or more lands for it to work. The one sort of nice thing about this, at least depending on the play group you're, or the commanders you're playing against, some people will see that and be like, oh, that sucks, man. I feel bad for you. I don't want to attack you. But some people might also see it as an opportunity. Like, they have cards kind of like this commander that's like, I need to attack someone to get value. Then they found themselves an easy target. So anyway, draw for turn, land for turn. And for 5 mana, he's going to play the Bounty card, which has Cascade, and it also gives all your things that are 6 or higher Cascade. So he casted a Beast Whisperer, which is pretty good. So now every time he casts a creature spell, he can draw an additional card. And then he's going to pass the turn. So now it'll go to this guy's turn. He and the other player are kind of falling behind. He's going to play a land and then play Commander Spear. Then he's going to pass the turn. Then it's going to move over to the this dragon player's turn. He's going to untap and draw. That was a really good draw. Jeez. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more land. That's 7. So yeah, he's going to play lands. Then for 7, he's going to play his commander, and it does have haste. So he's going to go to combat, and he's deciding who to attack, which unfortunately he doesn't really have a lot of good things to cast anyway. So I think for now he's, as weird as it is, I think for now he's actually just going to, actually no, like that might be a bad idea, because the thing is he's not going to attack anyway. So better strategy in this case would actually be, because he has 2 options. He has something called the Silverback Elder, and he also has Terror of the Peaks. The only one reason why I would hesitate to play Terror of the Peaks is it would make it super obvious that he's a threat, and people will probably go after him. So I think for now, I don't think he's going to risk it. So for 5, he's going to play Silverback Elder, which is a good 5/7 defense as well. So he's just going to do that for now and then pass the turn. So then it'll go to this player's turn, untap, draw. He doesn't have another land, but for 2, he is going to go ahead and play Mindstone. And then he's going to go ahead and pass the turn. So then it'll go to the Simic player's turn. Did I say it right? Sometimes I get the colors mixed up in my head. Don't know why. He's going to draw for turn. He's going to exile a card called Elvish Spirit Guide, which gives him a green mana since he doesn't have another land to play. And then for 6, he's going to go ahead and cast Kadama. So trigger, and you could choose which one resolves first on top of the stack. He's going to choose the Beast Whisperer, which lets him draw an additional card. And then this happens, so he gets to Cascade for 6. To reveal, so he hits something less than 6. That's a lot of lands. He's going to play Case House. So the way cases work is you get the first ability, and there's an ability called To Solve, which means if you do what you need to solve the card's mystery, then you get an additional ability. So the first ability, you play 2 lands a turn. He only had 1 anyway. And then after that, if he has 7 or more lands on the end step, he solves the mystery, and he could actually basically play some cards from the top of his deck. Not all cards, but like certain conditions, such as creatures and enchantments. He has a 6/6, so he does have some defense. So I think what he's going to do is go 2 this guy's way, just because he's doing stuff, and 3 at this player's way. I think right now this player is basically trying to find a middle ground of like getting things done, but not making like noticeable enemies, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I'm sure most of the table will be scary. Like if this was the salty player, I think he would only focus on this guy now, even though this guy's going to have something crazy happen. So now he's going to play a land for a green and a black. That was why he kept the hand built, was a risk. He's going to play Explore, which will let him draw another card and play another land. He's going to play another land, and then for 2, he's going to go ahead and play the Signet, and that's all he could do. So he's going to pass. Oh, for a millisecond, these 2 cards are so similar. I thought I had 2 copies in a commander deck, which isn't allowed unless it's a basic lander says it's allowed. So he's ramping, kind of trying to catch up with the team. So he's going to pass. So now this is where it's going to get messy with this deck, because this is definitely one of my more high power level decks. That's disgusting what I just drew. So he's going to play land, and then for 7, he's going to, I guess I should tap it this way to scare him into thinking. He's going to cast his commander. This card triggers, he could blow something up. I think he's going to blow up the Simic just to make it, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, he's going to blow up the Simic just to make it so he can't do as much. And then he's going to go to combat. He can't really touch any of that stuff over there because it's enough defense. So I think he'll also, just to be a little nicer, spread the love. He's going to go 5 his way and 4 his way. There's a pro and con of spreading the love. The pro is it makes people mad at you a little less. What I mean by that is it just makes it so that way they're less likely to take it personal and target you the rest of the game. But the con is if that person needs to be low on life, they need to be low on life. So my commander's ability happens. It now has 9 mana. And what I think he's going to do is, for 5 of that, he's going to play Terror of the Peaks. The reason why I didn't play it last turn is I don't think he liked the idea of risking people seeing that and going like, oh, like, we need to target him right now. So he hesitated. Oh, I farted. So cast that, and he's going to blow up that enchantment just to kind of spread the love. It would be kind of sad if he hit that guy, and the guy's not really doing things anyway, so he might as well get the thing that will later let him play more cards. And surprisingly, though, that's it. Like, he doesn't really have any more, like, crazy stuff to do in his hand, even with that mana. So it's going to move on to this player's turn, untap draw. Not a land. Let's see if he has any 3 drops that could help. He does. For 3, he's going to play Light Up the Stage, so until the end of his next turn, he exiles the top 2, and those are cards he could play, which is perfect, because he did just get a command tower. And he still has 7 cards in hand. And he could still play it next turn, so that's actually really helpful for him, so he's going to pass. Not helpful where he could deal with, that. But, yeah, that guy is definitely the threat right now. To this guy, it could be either for these, I feel like, but still pretty good. So he's going to play lands. He doesn't want... Wait, how much mana do you have up? Oh, he was tapped out, that's right. He had a counter spell that if he had mana up, he could have used to help. Well, this is concerning. Because with the Terror of the Peaks, if there's no removal for that, then that guy pretty much wins. So I guess what he's going to do is, for 4 mana, he's going to cast Hellback Piper, trigger, draw a card. Still no answer, really. I don't think he played a land yet, so land for turn. And I guess for 3, he's going to go ahead and... Well, let's leave this man up instead. Tap the Elvish Mystic. He's going to play the Thopter Fabricator, so whenever he draws a second card, he could make a token, and it's a crew for 2. I forgot about this ability. He's going to choose not to use it. Here's Battlefield. You may. Yeah, so it's a may. It would be weird if it wasn't a may. It's like, how are they going to know? So yeah, untap and draw. Land, and for 7, he is going to play his... No, he has a better idea. For 7, he's going to go ahead and play Overseer of the Damned, and he's just going to go ahead and destroy Terror of the Peaks, because that's too disgusting for everybody. What does it say? Whenever I cast... So it's not a cast that targeted, it's an ETB trigger. And because it worked, he does get a 2/2 zombie that enters tapped. So he gets a zombie, then he's going to pass. So now they don't have to worry about Terror of the Peaks. And the guy's like, oh man, but that's so much fun. But I think he has another idea of what he wants to do. So untap and draw. He's going to, oh, that's pretty good. He's going to, for 7 or 8, I think that's right, 6, 7, 8. He's going to play End Raise, which when it enters, all creatures get +2/+2 vigilance and trample until end of turn, and also he also has vigilance and trample. So when he casts this, he's going to blow up that vehicle. We'll actually hold up because this guy has a response. He's going to play a Strix Red or whatever, which will counter it. So he counters it. The guy gets a 2/2 with flying. I don't think I have those, so I'll just grab a random 2/2 and try to remember that as flying. We'll say this zombie is a 2/2 with flying. The cast trigger still happens, though, because counterspells don't stop cast triggers. They do stop ETB because they stop the spell before it resolves and enters the field, but the cast process still happens in a way. So, yeah, like, it's actually kind of a risk to attack people, so I think what he's going to do... that's actually really tough. I think he's just going to pass because this is actually a tough scenario for him. Which is kind of nice for this player because it gives him more chances to play. So he's going to draw. He's going to play that lands. He does have enough lands now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 exact. He's going to cast his commander. So hopefully he can start doing some crazy stuff with his. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, shoot. He does have to discard, though. I think he's going to... Ooh, this is a good idea. He's going to discard this Knight card that he had in his hand. Then he's going to pass. So now, that player has been taken care of a little bit. But, you know, it's still not super sure. So he's going to draw. No. So what's going to happen is for 5, he's going to play Silverback Elder. Cast trigger, draw a card. And he's going to choose not to put a permanent into play. It's kind of concerned, so I think for now he's just going to pass. So he doesn't really have a lot he wants to do. So then we go on to this player's turn, draw. Now that Terror of the Peaks is gone, he's a little more comfortable. So he's going to, for 7, play his commander. And then for 10 life, go down to 22. He is going to go ahead and untap all his lands. This will stay tapped. And then for 5, he's going to go ahead and play Sidisi, sacrifice the token to search for a card. See if he has a card that could basically just say, screw you guys. Maybe I actually won with that card the other night. Actually, this isn't a bad idea either. What would be a fun card that would mess with these guys? Yeah, I think out of all the options, this card is probably the best. So he's going to search for a card. The token's dead. I'll move it in a second. Every creature and opponent control dies, so not your own. And I'll get the tokens for that too in a second. But yeah, for now, he basically played more stuff, so he's a little scarier now. And then he's going to pass the turn. Upkeep, of course, he's going to get some 1/1s, which I'll grab in a second. But untap, draw. Oh, this is a game changer. So for 7, he's going to tap this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. He's going to cast Tyrant Familiar. On cast, I think, just going to blow up that vehicle. That resolves. The vehicle dies. And then, but he has a response. The cast trigger still happens, but he's going to, for 2, activate Hellback Piper on cast and play Eternal Witness. Grab the counter spell and then basically counter that again. So that sucks because that would have been a big game changer. He gets another 2/2 with flying. We're just going to pretend these zombies fly. And then he doesn't really have anything else to do. So he's just going to go ahead and pass. And then it'll go back to this player's turn. Oh, he didn't need all 7. I don't know why I paid 7. Then draw for turn. What he's going to do first is for 0, he's going to cast Hangerback Walker and activate his commander's ability. So he's going to get a Possibility Storm. That might matter. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 cards in graveyard that might matter in a second. And then tough call. I think what he'll do is for 3, he's going to cast Commander Sphere. Possibility Storm ability happens. He got the boots. It's a gamble right now, you guys. And then for 4, he's going to play Solemn Simulacrum, Possibility Storm trigger. Bunch of lands. That's pretty good. He hit a Tidebow Tyrant, which with all this stuff is really disgusting. So that, of course, will have players be like, what did you just do? So now this guy is considered somewhat of a threat too, because it's an annoying card that everyone... I played it so much the other night that we were all just like stealing it with like Hostage Taker and everything like that, so it kept going back and forth, which was crazy. Draw for turn. He's going to start for 1 casting Soul Ring, but of course Possibility Storm, so it has to reveal so it's an artifact. Oh, that's not bad. He's going to get a Thaumatic Compass instead. And then he's going to, I think, end the turn and let the Compass flip into a Mazlevith, basically. So yeah, that's a thing. This guy has 4 1/1s. Let me grab the 1/1s. I don't know if I have the pest tokens or what I did with them, but like, that is a thing. So let me find some 1/1s to represent. Let's say these servos are the 1/1s. I know, it's so ugly, you guys. I don't know where those tokens went. So he has 4 of those. Let me grab a dice to represent. Anyway, so 4 tokens, which is pretty good in his deck. And then he's going to proceed to turn. So this table is getting a little more balanced. So draw. Do I have card types? No. Spoiler, it's domain. So what he's going to do... Oh, shoot. I didn't think of that. I know what he's going to do. For 4, he's going to play Migrant Path. Look for 2 forests. 1... where's the other forest? Forest. 2 forests. There we go. One thing he's going to do. I don't think he's going to use the commander's ability yet. And then he's going to... He doesn't have domain yet. So I think for now... Actually, so yeah, he'll do it. He'll pay 10 life, go down to 12. Float 3 in response. Untap all his stuff. With the 3 mana plus 1 more, he's going to play Falkenrath Noble. And then for 4, 2 green and 1, he's also going to play the Dean of the Root. And then he's going to go ahead and pass. Well, actually, yeah, he's going to pass. Go to this player's turn. He's going to untap and draw. He's going to, for 3, cast Eternal Witness. On cast, he's going to blow up Possibility Storm. Because he doesn't want to deal with Possibility Storm. But that ability still happens, so Field Fully hits a creature. He got this card, which is pretty good. And he casts it, so he's going to blow up the boots, because that player is getting scary now. And then, actually, yeah, he's going to do the other thing, too. He's going to Beast Within the Tidespout Tyrant, because he doesn't want that player doing stuff. So this player now gets a 3/3 Beast. Those I have. Or thought I did. Or are they? There they are. He gets a 3/3 Beast. And then he's going to... Does he want to go to combat? Probably not. So he's just going to pass. So we'll now go to this player's turn. Untap, draw. Oh, that's actually pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. For 7, he's just going to hard cast Flaming Tyrannosaurus, because in his deck that's disgusting. And you'll know by soon. So this guy's going to pass. The only problem is this player is now running out of things, so I think he is going to, on the end step, just discard this and draw another card, because he's running low on stuff to do. He's going to draw. As a matter of fact, he didn't even bother playing his commander, because he has stuff. So I think what he's going to do is, for 3 mana, he's going to play Eldritch Evolution, sacking this, so now he could look for a 7 drop or higher. I think I know what he wants to get. That's not bad either. Decisions. Actually, maybe he wants this, just so he can do this stuff. Yeah, I think for now this might actually be the best bet. He's going to look for a Regal Force that when it enters, draw a card for each green card he has, or green creature out. And he has 7. So that's an instant draw 7 cards, restock his hand, which is pretty good. So he's going to draw 7 cards. It wasn't cast, so Beast Whisperer doesn't happen, or the Cascade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Draw 7 cards. Play a land for turn, and then he's going to cast his commander. So he can start doing stuff. On cast, he draws a card. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He might have to go to discard in a second. I think he's going to discard his Explore, because he doesn't need it. Well, actually, no. He still has a mana left, so instead, he's going to play another Llanowar Elf, and on cast, draw a card if his commander gets a counter. I had a counter right here. And then, pass the turn. So, this is where this guy might have it. I don't know if he'll actually have it or not, but we'll see. Well, he also probably doesn't want to risk it. Might be worth it, actually. So he has a total of 8. So let me grab a bigger dice. So he has a total of 8 of those tokens. I actually think he might get it. Not get it, but pretty much get it. Do you get it? Anyway, so, and this is actually what he did in one of my previous shorts, so, like, it's probably going to be funny. So, what he's going to do is he's going to float 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's going to float 8 mana. He's going to pay 10 life, go down to 2. To untap the lands, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So he has 16 mana floating. He's going to leave 5 of it open, so 11. So he's going to Genesis Wave for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. he's going to go ahead and play all of these gross cards. I think he's actually going to not play. He's going to gain a life back for that land, go to 3. He's going to play all this gross stuff. I think, I don't know if he, let's play that, and then he's going to use the 5 for Overwhelming Stampede. The biggest creature is 6. Yeah, 6. So all his stuff will get +6/+6. And he's basically going to swing out. He just needs to figure out how. So, and they all have Death Touch too. They all get, well, actually, no, they all get +7/+7 because they're already bigger from this. And, oh, shoot, those tokens are actually massive because they're black in. So they're actually 9/9s. So he's just going to swing out in a way where he can kill as much people as possible. He definitely wants to get this guy. And he doesn't have a sack outlet. I guess he could when he brought this in before he casts it. So let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, he could also just... Oh, wait, no, I'm thinking of something different. Oh, yeah, because of Great Pack. So yeah, he could also just sacrifice 5 of these, and then they give up all his creatures, and then they all get bigger still. And, I mean, honestly, I think realistically, some players would scoop at this point. I mean, they may not. But basically, yeah, he played a really gross card, he got all his things, and then he's going to make them all bigger, and then likely they're just going to scoop. But yeah, I think likely if they lose all their stuff, he just has some big creatures going at each of them, and then that would basically get him the game. But yeah, no, like, that's the card he searched for. He looked for Genesis Wave because it's a really gross commander card, and he just read all his cards and found the advantage. Oh, and also, yeah, he also has, so he basically drains someone for a bunch of life, too. So, like, basically, and he'll get more 2/2s off of that. So I think at this point, he makes an army of token. Or I guess he could have triggered the stack a certain way. Like, he could have... oh, wait, no, that's because the sack is what's making them do it. Just some big stuff. But yeah, no, that was sort of a walkthrough. And basically what this guy did was he played an enchantment that says whenever a creature of his dies, each opponent has to sack a creature. So he basically counted how many creatures they had. So he basically sacrificed all 8 of the tokens to make everyone else sack 8 creatures. And they all get massive because of that. So he just has to hit them with a few big things, and then he basically wins. So yeah, that was pretty cool.